Today I'm very much excited to stand in front of the apartment, my first apartment I lived here in America. When I came to America, I came to teach Swahili language and African culture at the Marshall University, is one among the big universities here in West Virginia. So I came under Fulbright scholarship, and the first apartment I lived, this is the apartment I lived. It was a two-bedroom apartment, and that two-bedroom apartment we used to pay, it was, if I'm not mistaken, was $600. So $300 or $350, if you include utilities, was for my roommate Saidi from Oman. Saidi was teaching Arabic language, and I was teaching Swahili language. So he was teaching Arabic language in the Arabic culture, and I was teaching African culture and the Swahili language, to be in specific or be in particular. So we came here back in August 2008, and I was teaching here from August 2008 to June, up to end of May, basically 2009. So for the period of almost 10 months, going to 11, I used to live in this apartment, and I lived down here. I can be able to show you the apartment itself. It was a two-bedroom apartment. So this is the apartment. This one was my room. That window, that was my room. This one was the room of my roommate, and this was just the window for the living room, and this was the apartment. So apartment 3, and at the top where we get our mail over there. So almost the whole building, it is a huge building. Basically, there are so many apartments around here, and it was for most of the people who lived here were students, and all of them went to Marshall University. So I'm excited to come back here and a little bit to show you, because some people usually ask me a lot of questions. Questions like, how do you get apartment, the first apartment, for instance, and all those kind of questions. So I want to take this opportunity to address some few things, how on my end I was able to get my first apartment here. For me to get my first apartment was a little bit different from others. I came with what we call the Fulbright scholarship. With that particular scholarship, we came directly for teaching. So you are given the money, where you'll be able to cover your living expenses. Where you find the apartment, that's up to you. Where you are going to eat, that is up to you. But medical insurance and other things were already covered. Cost of like tuition and other things, even if you are typical teaching, but we were supposed to take some few classes to learn more about teaching. So for that particular situation, what they did on our end was, we are brand new, my roommate and I, Said. So if we are brand new, what should we do in order to get the apartment? And we have been talking about, in order to get a good apartment, you have to have a credit score. Sometimes they check that, and some of the times getting the full, most of the lease or the contract for the housing is full 1-year contract. So we had to find, because our contract was 9-month contract. So if it is 9-month contract, we have to find the apartment which will allow that one, or we had to find 1-year lease, and then when we finish end of May, it is our responsibility to find someone who will live for the remainder of the lease. We call it sublease. But so we had to find, I didn't want the complication of getting someone to get the full 1-year lease, so we got 10-month lease. But because we didn't have the credit, what you need to do is you have to pay higher, what they call the security deposit. When you get to the apartment, you pay the certain amount. If there is any damage happening, they will take the money from that one to fix the damage. So which one is usually the equal of the last, equal of 1 month pay, or the equal of it's just sometimes the equal of the rent of the month. So this one is 2-bedroom apartment, and remember it was 2008. West Virginia, or the state of Huntington in general, is affordable state. So if it is affordable state, so we are able to to use, or simply you can simply say we were able to pay small amount. So it was about $700 per month, and that was the amount which was including the utilities. So for that particular case, we were able to pay like $350 with utilities. So we had to pay, like, instead of paying like $350 for the rent, we paid extra for security deposit, so that because we didn't have credit history, we were brand new here in America, and we didn't have any person to what we call to co-sign on our behalf. So, but that is, we ended to have the apartment. This apartment, as I said, is in a very good neighborhood. It is very nearby the school, and so many things are here. So the gas station is there, 5 minutes from the university, and you can see the neighborhood itself. It is very, very good. American Legion is here. Yeah, so everything is nearby, basically. From here to downtown, you can even walk to downtown. And to walk from here to downtown was not very, very far. So it was just about how long? Is about like 15 minutes, I can say. So it was not that long from here to downtown. From here to the university was like less than 5 minutes. From here to the bus stop was few minutes. So everything was close by. Yeah, so that is what I wanted to share with you, so that you can a little bit understand the yeah. Hey guys, how are you? So today I'm making a video. I'm traveling, to some parts of America here, and I live in the state of Missouri, and now I have decided to visit one of the states called West Virginia, and this is where I came here for the first time. When I arrived in America, I lived here in the state of West Virginia, in the city of Huntington, for 1 year. So this is where it started. So I came to one of the small park. It's a very nice park. You can see, I'm going to show you around, and this is the Ohio River, the one we have been able to see. So this is the river, the Ohio River. So the funny part about this area is called the tri-state. That means there are 3 states which are close by one another. So while the Huntington is in the state of West Virginia, so here they transport something. Mostly this state is the most famous state for the coal. So it's the coal mining state. So you see, so they usually ship a lot of things around through this one, but there is also a very big railway. So you can see there are 2 bridges, the first bridge and the second bridge. The first bridge, as I've been saying, this is called the tri-state. That means there are 3 states which are close by. The first state is the this one, which is the West Virginia and Huntington. Then there is Ashland, Ohio, Ashland, Kentucky, and there is Ohio. So the first bridge and the second bridge, if you cross one bridge, you are in another state. You cross the other bridge, again, you are in another state. So this river is one among the longest here in the United States. It goes through a lot of states. So I brought my kids around here just to show them around, and I will be giving some tour around and explaining how it was for me to starting the life here, and for others who wanted to come to study, or for instance, or to live in the smaller states. So this is an example of the smaller states. Personal for me, if you ask me right now, what will be the advice I can give someone, either to start the life in the extremely big city or big states, and versus coming to start the life in the smaller states. Personally, I enjoyed it to start my life here at the smaller states because it was a small pace, and it gave me the opportunity to learn a lot of American culture, not in a very harsh way, not in a very hurry way. It was just a small pace where I was able to learn a lot of things. So from that, after living here for almost a year, then I moved from here. I went to California. So going to California from another state, it was pretty much easy because you go there and you already have the basics, the foundation, the blueprint of how you can be able to survive most of the American culture. So for me, it is this way. It was a good way for me. I know there are some people, they start right away from New York, from California, from the big states, and they do very, very good. So I don't say that you must start with the smaller states, go to the bigger states. That is not what I mean. What I mean is find what works for you, and you can do that way, in that way. That will be the good way I can be able to explain. So I've come with my family, Claire, Benedict, Faustina, and my wife Marie. So we'll be able to show with you some of the few things around here. So this was one of the park we used to come a lot. It's one among the longest park. It has, you can go so many places, and it has so many things you can be able to play with. So you can see, yeah, there are homes on the other side of the river too. So those people, they're in another home, they're in another state. They are not in the state where we are right now. So it's in different state. So that's what I was trying to explain about the tri-state.